Another day, another round of corporate layoffs head into this Labor Day weekend. No doubt, a lot of plans were changed over the last 48 hours. Goldman Sachs announced plans this week to slash over 1,300 jobs, targeting low performers during their annual review. That's a cold cut of about 3 to 4% of their workforce, translating to up to 1,800 people shown out the door. Over at Apple, it's no different. They canceled 100 roles in their digital services division. So just another wave in a series of job cuts this year for them. Even tech darlings such as Apple can't escape the chopping blocks. Meanwhile, Pitney Bowes is laying off nearly 1,000 employees nationwide, and the cuts don't stop there. Then there's Shell, trimming 20% of its workforce. In certain divisions, as the CEO sharpens the focus on profitability. And not to be outdone, Scale AI, in a shocker, dumped over 1,000 of their employees via email, though the company insists the number is not that large. Is this new era the corporate reality? As companies chase efficiency, employees are becoming expendable. Yesterday was the time to take matters into your own hand. Build something of your own, grow your network, and find ways to deliver value directly to the marketplace. Or else. Curious to hear what you think? If you found value, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Another day.
This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me this truth. Salutation, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning. Fight this good fight of faith, and salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. And I hope and pray that this lesson be edifying to your elect. So, as the opening scripture said, Isaiah 19 and 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, right? And this, America is indeed spiritual Sodom and Egypt, as it says in the book of Revelation, I believe it's chapter 11 and let's just go over to it. Salakia. Let's see, Revelation chapter 11 and 8. And it reads, and their dead bodies, right, spiritually dead, shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So this is speaking about America, man, Babylon the Great, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, right? All you got to do is look at the back of the dollar bill, you know, the Egyptian obelisk, you know, and as they call it, the Washington Monument here, you know. So there's a lot of similitudes, you know, to ancient Egypt, you know. So I came across this article from Zero Hedge, published today. It says persistent economic pressures changing consumer habits send more restaurants into bankruptcy, right? So the more the restaurants continue to go down and go into bankruptcy, spells even more job losses, you know. So we're seeing Babylon the Great, aka America, continue to spiral the drain, man. So I'll read a little bit of this. It says it's been a rocky year for the restaurant industry, with rising costs due to inflation and changing consumer habits driving a slew of chains with household names into Chapter 11 bankruptcy. According to those who follow the industry, there is no refinable silver lining ahead for an industry in deep trouble. And yeah, Red Lobster was one of them. That was a lot of them have been struggling as well. It says most restaurants lose money, and there's a reason for that. It's a hard business with low margins and trends that are hard to navigate. Jonathan Carson, the co-CEO of market strategy company Stretto, told the Epic Times. When you add higher prices and a continually and increasingly overburdened consumer balance sheet, I think it makes the industry prime for restructuring, he said. Carson, who handles business reorganization, said his company is aware of at least 17 national restaurant chains that have filed for bankruptcy in 2024. Among a higher profile restaurant casualties this year, which have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcies protection this year are Roti, Boca di Beppo, Tijuana Flats, Sticky Finger Joint, and Red Lobster. Consumer habits have changed. Laura Adams, a money expert and award-winning author who also hosts the weekly Money Girl podcast, told the Epic Times that changes in consumer habits, such as cooking at home and ordering home delivery, have especially plagued the fast casual tier of the restaurant industry. Consumers who dine in or who dine at lower end restaurants are the ones who will stop dining out first, and they'll be the ones the last ones to return because of unaffordability. She said, "I think people have become used to ordering out, eating casually at home, and wearing casual clothes while watching Netflix." Says one of the changes in the restaurant industry that exploded during the pandemic was home delivery services like Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash. The delivery companies, though, take large commissions from restaurants already struggling to make a profit. DoorDash orders can take as much as 30% commission from restaurants. And I know this personally because I used to work for this Syrian guy who had a falafel restaurant, and I remember him telling me, he I would work directly for him to do delivery. So when he had his, how the restaurant has its own delivery people, like almost like a Domino's type of thing. They have people that actually work for them that deliver stuff. So I was, working for him, but he still had a lot of business through Grubhub and DoorDash and um, Uber Eats, because a lot of people found him through those apps and everything. So they're already on there. So his restaurant was, on there. But I remember him telling me that, the app, would take a huge amount of money from him. So it almost didn't even make sense for him to use the service. But at the same time, that's how his business was getting out there. His restaurant was out there because more people knew about, more people know about Uber Eats and Grubhub and what have you, and they find the restaurants on the app, so they just order through the app, And I know that too because I've used the apps personally myself and my wife and all. So I say all that to say this, that as this continues to increase and as these businesses continue to fold these restaurants, it's only going to lead to more crumbling of the society. Let's get Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, right? When you look into the word economy, it goes into house management, right? So the economists are the keepers of the house, right? And it says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. Now, as we watch in the beginning opening clip with the brother Mike from Rethinking the Dollar, he mentioned all these different companies that were laying off people, laying off Americans, man. And this is a continuous trend that's been going on since, for the past couple of years now, and it's only continuing to get worse as, in this lesson, kind of focusing on the restaurant industry, and, because the lower end of society, this is particularly affecting because, the mainly Jake be in the restaurants, man, waitresses, waiters, maybe bartenders, working at McDonald's, working at Burger King, Red Lobster, serving tables, maybe busboys, those type of jobs are being affected. When you talk about the restaurant, then the lower, the poor, so to speak, right? Jake, you Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the main ones in those type of jobs, So that's it's detrimental, to Jake right now, but really in the middle class, because as the brother Mike mentioned in the opening clip, You know, it was different corporate jobs that were being taken out, so the middle class is also being affected at the same time. But the point being, it says, "In the grinders cease because they are few," talking about the jobs, "and those that look out the windows be darkened," because you know there's no future here, man. You know. So let's get this other video real quick. And I'll get another precept or two, and that'll be the lesson. So this is from the Atlantis report, and it says 15 fast food chains are in serious trouble right now.
Inflation is serious because it's taking the prices of value meals at fast food restaurants up.
I told you about a Lending Tree survey that found nearly 80% of consumers now consider fast food a luxury because of those rising prices.
He said 80% of consumers now consider fast food a luxury. Fast food a luxury. So, you know, this is the times that we're living in, man. You know, let's get that real quick. I'll continue a little bit more in that video. Second Kings, we brought this out at camp on Sunday. Second Kings 6:25. "And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it." Let me see. Let me go. Let's read a little bit up. 25. So I'll start at 24. "And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria." So they, you know, they began to cut off the food supply. That's the same thing that these devils are doing right now here in Babylon. You know, shutting down all the burning down, I should say, all the food processing plants that were happening all last year, the train derailments that were happening, you know, different talks of shortages of water, you know, the bird FLU, you know, supposedly killing off all these poultry, the killing off of poultry, the killing, you know, them saying that they're all sick and saying that they have to get rid of them and this, that, and the third. So killing off all the poultry, a lot of it, millions and millions of chickens, you know, being euthanized. You know, the whole thing with the cattle, the cows, you know, dumping all this milk, killing off a lot of cows, saying that, you know, eating red meat is bad and all types of things. So they, you know, they're actively cutting off the food supply, right, here in Babylon in this time. It says, "And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head, right, a donkey's head, was sold for 4 score pieces of silver," right? And the score is 20. So 4 score would be 80 pieces of silver, man. That's how expensive a donkey's head was because of the great famine. And that represents how the price of food is going up so high, man, with this inflation and everything, man. You know, people aren't making enough money. They're making the same amount of money, but that they was, but the price of everything around is going up. So the math ain't mathing, man. You know, and people are now saying that 80% of consumers are saying that fast food is considered a luxury. Going to McDonald's or going to you know, Red Lobster is considered a luxury, man. You know, to a lot of people, 80%. You know, of Babylonians, man. And it says until an ass's head was sold for 4 pieces of silver, and the 4th part of cab of dove's dung, right? Dove's droppings, right? For 5 pieces of silver, man. So this is how bad, you know, it's gonna get, man. You know, because as the scriptures say, you know, there's nothing new under the sun, man. So the Lord is gonna bring all types of plagues onto this place. And as a matter of fact, as I said, I'll get that since I'm over here. We'll get back to the video. Revelation what was it? Is it 6? Damn. That's 6. And here we go. Revelation 6 and 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat upon him had a pair of balances in his hand, right? And he said, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." And as Apostle Ramlov had went into, I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago, when you look up penny, it goes into the amount of basically a day's pay. I'm not gonna go into it in this lesson, but when you go back into the time of I believe in Rome, I believe it was in Rome, he was going into that penny represented a day's pay. So imagine working a whole day just to get a measure of wheat or a loaf of bread, right? And 3 measures of barley for a penny, right? For working a whole day. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine, which represents the elect, right? Because as it says in Jeremiah 30:7, Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, meaning the elect. And as the scriptures say, Yahawashi said, that his servant shall eat, and everybody else shall be hungry. His servant shall drink, and everyone else shall be thirsty, right? Let's get back to the video, watch a little bit more.
Fast food industry has long been a staple of modern society, offering quick, convenient, and affordable meals to people on the go. However, as we move through 2024, several well-known fast food chains find themselves in serious trouble, struggling with various challenges that threaten their existence. Here are the 15 fast food giants fighting for survival in an increasingly hostile market. 1. KFC. Although thriving in China,
and Jake's gonna go crazy when KFC goes away. But yeah, all these different restaurants I'll just go through. So KFC, let's see. I wonder if you got a list down here. Let's see, you might have a list. Maybe I could look at the I don't have a transcript here or something. Let's see. Kona Grill.
including allegations of poor working conditions and low wages, and a 12% stock decline.
Damn, Starbucks. So these Edomites, bougie ass Edomites, they're gonna be hurting. No more pumpkin spice lattes for you.
Furthermore, reluctance to implement eco-friendly line with their values and demonstrate themselves the target of boycott. Casual dining chain known for its Asian-inspired cuisine has struggled to stand out in a very competitive market. The company is 15. It seemed like a buyer might salvage the situation. However, even and a shortage of labor, which are posing significant challenges. After filing for bankruptcy in 2019, frozen and processed, increasing scrutiny for contributing to obesity, animal welfare concerns, conscious customers. In an era of heightened social and environmental awareness, fast food chains have come under increased has struggled to adapt to changing consumer preferences and intentionally, the company has been attacked for being dependent on processed and unhealthy foods, which are becoming less popular among health-conscious customers. With fewer than 100 locations nationwide, revenue losses are rendering of sales customers competitive. But in recent years, traditional fast food chains are facing unprecedented pressure to differentiate them.
Yeah, brothers, sisters, y'all can watch that video if you want. But the point being that these different restaurants, going down and going into bankruptcy shows the signs of the times, man, that we're living in, man. And this place is going out of here, man. It's out of here. It's almost out of here, let's see. And this, shows the signs of the times. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, right? So, after the whole demic thing kind of faded away, kind of, sort of, they wasn't, once different mandates, and they weren't, every 2 seconds talking about the numbers, and Fauci says this, Fauci says that, mask up, you can't come here, you can't go there, you have to be juiced, you have to, since they haven't said that, in a little, I guess, but over a little over a year now, it hasn't really been talking about it. As of late, they've been starting to talk about it more, and lockdowns and stuff like that. But, people are pretty at ease right now. I look out my window right now, and, people are walking up and down the street, people taking their kids to school, picking their kids back up from school, going on about their regular business, basically saying peace and safety, that the worst is over. They think that Babylon's going to bounce back, but as the scriptures say, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, for her sins have reached on to heaven, man. So this place is about to be destroyed. 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, man. So this destruction is coming down the pike, man. Famines, pestilences, different diseases, earthquakes, uproars of the people, World War III, the MOTB, the hour of temptation, mass casualties, right? Starvation, so all these plagues are descending upon this place, man. And a lot of the people are seeing it, man. What's the scripture? Let's get that, end off with that. Let's get this. Ecclesiastes 7:2. It is better to go into the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart, man. So it's better to be in the house of mourning, man. As the scriptures say, he that increases in knowledge increases in sorrow, man. So the men of the Lord, and the hopeful elect, brothers and sisters out there that believe, this is the frame of mind that, we should, that we're in, and that we should be in, because we know that, all these things have to come to pass. But at the same time, we have a different frame of mind, because we know that the end of Esau's world represents the beginning of Jacob's world, man. Where Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it, follow it. 2nd Ezra 6:9, man. So at the same, we're also excited. We're hastening the day of the coming of the Lord, man, because we know what it entails, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to report on that. As we're commanded to do, blow the trumpet in Zion and give the Lord's people, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and our fellow brethren that were scattered, to the heathen nations, amongst the heathen nations, warning from the Lord, man. And we're commanded to measure out the time diligently in itself, so we know what time we're living in, man. And we know that these plagues and this destruction and calamities are soon to come, man. When the 2nd Ezra 15 and 16 chapters, are soon to come to pass, man. When a man shall, not regard his neighbor, and shall spoil his goods because of lack of bread. When people aren't able to work, they're not able to get money, they're not able to eat, their children and their wives are not able to eat. Hey, they're gonna turn into full-blown savages out here. They're not gonna care about any of that neighborly morals, for lack of a better word, man. They're not gonna have any morals. There's gonna be survival of the fittest for real, man. So I hope and pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to thank Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi once again for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson, and I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me this truth. Salutations, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning. Fighting this good fight of faith. Keep fighting, keep striving, keep pushing. We're almost out of here. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom, say a Bible ball, and Kwam Yasharala. Hey, shalom. To the next one.